Welcome into the Verdin Verdict Sports Show. Hopefully, everybody's having a good day. Going out here, sharing this to Facebook right now as we get started, as per usual, live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Facebook, YouTube, wherever you get your information, wherever you get your social media. We're there at Verdin Verdict. Every link in the description. Coco in the chat. Shama, we going to the Shama. Come on, Shama boy. Isaiah in the chat. Hopefully, some good news. We got a practice report for you. Got a breakdown. I got some defensive notes, the offensive notes. Some standouts, some takeaways, some worries, a little bit of everything here. A mixed bag, if you will, today. So let's get right into it. Let's jump in that water. Let's not even wait. No more sitting around. No more fooling around. Straight to the business. Defense yesterday. Defensive line had a great day. I'll break more of that down in a little bit. I just wanted to start off by saying that I'm sure you heard it already. The pressure was all over the place, whether it be in the pass game, whether it be in the run game. Now, you do want to tape your expectations a little bit because you're going against your team in practice. That could be a direct reflection of the offensive line and where they're at this point. I'm not going to, damper anybody's Wednesday afternoon here, but I'm just saying that there's always a give and a take with a practice report. There's always something that you could spin it, whether it be positive, negative, whatever the case may be. From your defensive line, Dominic McKinley's been moving in and out of the first team at times, and this was expected with Jacoby and Guillory getting healthy because that's going to be a mainstay. You can't get an experienced trenchman out of his position. A fifth year, been in this role before, NFL caliber talent. Jacobian's going to see the field. He's going to see the field a lot. So now the question is who's going to be alongside him on the inside. And also, Jacobian's not going to play 100% of the plays. It's not how this stuff goes. He's going to get some time to breathe, and that's when a guy like Dominic McKinley is going to be able to step in and seize the moment with the reps that he's given. And he's been doing that through camp. He had a very good rep versus Josh Thompson, who I feel like could be considered still as your potential starting right guard, even though that battle is still underway and seems to be far from over, quite frankly. You saw Cohen Eccles get in there, yada, yada, yada. But all in all, Dominic McKinley has been doing enough, I think, to make his stake and his presence felt in this room. Is he going to be your first guy, your second guy? Probably not, but I think he'll be a good third or potential fourth because you still got Bernard Gooden, you still got Ahmad Bro. You got a lot of pieces, to say the least. And we'll talk about Bernard here in a little bit because he had another insane day, to say the least. Ashton Stamps. I want to give him some credit here because he is a solid corner that's, quite frankly, going under the radar. You get a lot of shiny new toys. You get a lot of new pieces, whether it be a Mansour, a Jakeem, a AJ, a Tamarcus. Naturally, everybody forgets about the DBs that you've had in your room this entire time. And Ashton Stamps is somebody that last year you got a lot of production out of. You got a lot of reps. He was on the field for a long time. Was it quality every single possession? Nah, that's football, though. And that's the beauty of being a younger player. Sometimes you just got to F it up. Sometimes you just got to shit the bed. You know what I'm saying? You got to just go through it, fall on your face a little bit. But when you get back up, you got to make sure that you're stronger. You got to make sure that you comprehend where you messed up so you're not going to put yourself in that position again. I think Ashton Stamps is the embodiment of that. I feel like he should be in the starting rotation alongside Mansour Delane with what we've seen in camp. All over the place, a short field, making contest in coverage. I feel like he's one of the more surefire pieces on this defense collectively. And that's a big, bold take, especially when you've got Harold Perkins, Whit Weeks, like I said, Jacoby and Guillory, Bernard Gooden, Jack Pyburn's been making some noise. Ashton Stamps is somebody that I think you can lean on and that will be reliable going forward this season. Reliability and being able to depend on somebody to do their role and hold up their end of the bargain, so to speak. It's going to go a long way for LSU in being confident and being able to handle some of these tough opponents that they're going to have to cross off the schedule here if they're going to want a playoff appearance. And it starts in week 1, and it's going to start quick. So I think you're going to have to rely on someone like Ashton Stamps to be able to lead you, not hold your hand. He's not going to baby you. I don't think he needs to be the savior of the room like he had to be last year, but he's going to be a focal point. And I think he's earned his spot alongside Mansour. DJ Pickett, he's had a few errors. That's expected, though. You're forging a freshman in the fire, quite frankly. You're throwing him out there, trying to see if he can cut his teeth, trying to see how he responds, how he reacts, how he looks out there in the fold. And there's times where he shows flashes. There's times where he has a huge hit, a huge tackle. He wraps up nice. He gets up. He celebrates. He stretches out and deflects something. There are those moments. So I think that's going to help him, build up that confidence to inevitably get onto the field. There are going to be corners ahead of him. However, it's not like it doesn't look inattainable for DJ Pickett. He's getting quality reps over quality opponents, and he's still a freshman. He's still a very young player that I think you're going to see big things from, especially this season. Quarterback rotations, this is what we were seeing a lot of. Mansour and Jakeem, Mansour and Ashton, PJ Woodland and DJ Pickett, and then at safeties, you saw all kind of things. AJ Halsey, Tamarcus Cooley, Deshaun Spears was out there. Toviano even got some reps with AJ Halsey as well. However, your mainstay, your biggest piece, the safety that I think you can lock in on this depth chart is AJ Halsey. He brings all the experience. He brings everything. He's kind of similar to what I was saying with Ashton Stamps, just all over the place. Like every single area of the field, he's there, whether it be the short flat, whether it be sinking deep into a corner, whatever the case may be, he's there. He's making a break of the ball. Very good at tackling. He's had a couple of moments already. We only saw one practice where it was live, but I've seen 2 hits from him on 2 days. So, I mean, there's been moments where I feel like, okay, this is going to be one of the best transfers that you brought in AJ Halsey. He could be the head turner of the entire room, but there's still more pieces to be talked about here. Last one of the DB room, PJ Woodland. I'm going to make this claim. I talked about PJ Woodland last year. I saw the flashes last year. This year, he looks just about as aggressive as ever. I think he's got to get on the field. He's that good. He could be your third corner off. And that's a bold statement because in reality, you got Mansour, you got Ashton, you got Jakeem, and I think PJ would slide in around that 4th spot. You still got DJ Pickett. You still got Michael Turner. You still got a lot of pieces to be able to throw in the mix. If you want Tamarcus to play a little slot, you got that, or a little nickel, you got that. You got a lot of names. But PJ Woodland, I think, has to be at the top of that list with what you've seen through him in camp, with the instinctiveness, with the aggressiveness, just with the ability to be able to cover anybody. It don't matter who it is. Does not matter who it is. I think he's been one of our best DBs this entire camp. Let's talk about them trenches again on that defensive side. Jack Pyburn had a huge day yesterday. Forced a fumble, had an insane little run stop on Caden Durham. Caden's running to the right side. Jackson on the left just swings all the way to the other side, beats out everybody, gets his ass on the ground. It's like, okay, if I see that in live, if I see that on a Saturday, LSU defense is back. And I had an interesting bold claim months and months and months ago, like 8 months ago, at the end of the year, end of the season. I'm thinking, LSU's offense has been taking the cake, quite frankly, in terms of just spectators watching, and that's the clear-cut side of the ball that is winning the games for the Tigers. It's been the offense for the last few years. Defense has been lackluster. Defense has been kind of slacking a little bit. But this season, I do think it's going to be their year to be able to kind of flip those expectations on their head, those narratives completely on their head. I think that the defense is revamped. I think Blake Baker's not only a competent D coordinator, but he's got the collective buy-in of the entire room, whether it be new guys, old guys, young guys, whatever the case may be. Every single person sees the common goal, sees the big picture. Everybody's bought in, and it just looks like it's going to translate into success on that side of the ball. When you're getting to the quarterback, when you're stopping the run, when you're being aggressive, when you got all these different names and combos and player packages to throw out there, it's hard to screw up. I mean, when you like last year, when you got what you got, and you can't really, throw more people in a room. You don't have the Jimmies and Joes or whatever the analogy you want to make. When you're stuck with whatever you had last year, and you can somehow turn it into a 9-4 season, I feel like that's indicative of what you could do with a number 1 transfer portal class. Now, is there a lot of turnaround? Is there a lot of new players, a lot of new faces, a lot of new pieces, rotations, things that they're going to have to sort out? Of course. But at the cornerback spot, at the D-line spot, at the edge spot, safety, you are deeper than you've been in years. And when I mean years, I'm talking about probably the entirety of Coach Kelly's era. You've got a lot of names on this defense. It's almost hard for me to think that they'll screw this up. I trust everybody on that side of the ball, whether it be coaches, whether it be analysts, whether it be GAs. I trust all of them. I feel like the defense is going to make an entire transformation this season. And I think it'll be that side of the ball that people are talking about. It's been the offense. People have been talking about the fireworks, the passing, all this great stuff. And rightfully so. You had a Heisman winning quarterback a few years ago, and now you got potentially the best quarterback in college football. I still think that the defense has a potential to take the cake and be the X factor for LSU going forward. And that's a hot take. But look, when you see Jack Piper making moves like that, it's hard not to jump on that bandwagon. Now, let's talk about this run game. Let's talk about the pressure that they were putting on the quarterback. So run defense looks good. Pass rush looks good. Like I said at the beginning of the show, the O-line could be the problem. We will have to kind of be a little realistic here. I'm drinking the LSU defense Kool-Aid, but I'm going to kind of put it down for a second and just say that it could be a result of the offensive line not being comfortable, not knowing, if the guy next to you can be able to complete his task, because there's still battles going on. There's still names left to be finalized and pinned, quite frankly. The right guard spot, Coach Kelly said there's 4 people rotating in right there. I'd imagine it'd be Josh Cohen or Paul would probably get the biggest odds chance. I feel like it's Josh Thompson's spot. Worst case scenario, you put Cohen Eccles in. That's one of those positions, though, that I think you're going to continue to see get plugged and played all season long. They don't know exactly who's going to be your starting 5 for that offensive line. It scares me a little bit. Because I think Clemson does. And by that logic, Clemson would theoretically be ahead of you in terms of fall camp and the things that you have to iron out. Now, it's not the biggest worry in the world, but that could be a reason why the defense had such a good day. Bernard Gooden, let's talk about him real quick. Show him some love. Like I said, he got active again, been turning heads all camp long. I mean, it's not just one specific day that you can point out for Bernard Gooden. It's damn near every day. He could be, listen to me when I say this, he could be your best inside lineman, the transfer from South Florida. He could be the guy, number 88, with the swaggy trench number. He could be the dude that gets to the quarterback, that stops the run, that does this, that does that. And yeah, the inside D-line doesn't always get the love that they deserve. They're doing the dirty work. They're doing the hard, facing double teams and creating inside pressure. Guess what? I think Bernard Gooden's going to be one of those guys that you could see become one of the LSU D-line greats. Gabe Relaford got into the mix, showed off his speed, got a sack. That's another one of those names I think off the edge is going to be mind-numbing. You got Jack Piper on one side. You got Gabe Relaford the other side. You got Jacoby and Guillory. You got Bernard Gooden. If you get tired, you got Ahmad. You got Dominic. You got Patrick. You got Jamari Butler. You got so many pieces to be able to throw out here into the fold. You even got a guy, Sean Washington. He got inside the pocket with Perkins and got a pass or got a sack on a pass play. All in all, the defense looks good. It looks deep. It looks like a successful championship winning team. I'm not going to lie. Let's hit in the chat real quick. Flo will be talking about defense killed it yesterday in the practice. Especially D-line. Secondary did good too. Perkins, Weeks. Yeah, double Weeks. Weeks 2 times. 2 times Weeks right here with Wesson, with Piper, Peyton, Delane, Cooley, Halsey, Pickett, Jackson. Got a stacked defense, man. Finally got a good defense. I agree. Platinum Obama. We got a president in the chat. Shout out President Obama. Got $100 on the Tigers to win it all. I mean, hey, it's probably like plus 20,000. Well, what's the odds on that? Drop the odds on the chat if you actually took that bet. I want to know how long that is. I might tell that with you. They got an 8.5 win total. I mean, that's another one. I saw earlier On3 made a tweet. Out of the top 3 teams that are getting bet in terms of the over on their win total, Colorado's number 1, LSU is number 2. Colorado's win total is 5.5. LSU's is 8.5. The whole entire country's thinking LSU takes at least 9 wins. I'm riding with it. I believe it. If you get a 9-win season again, you're this close to the playoffs. I mean, I can see it in your future. Let's talk about the offense real quick. We did a lot of defensive hype. Let's give the offense some credit. Kyle Parker, sneaky threat. He ain't getting enough praise, straight up. That's about as straight up as I can be on this segment. Kyle Parker is an athlete. He's a great baller, great wide receiver, going to be a guy for the Tigers. Now, will he be a 10-catch-a-game guy, 5-catch-a-game guy? No, probably not. But he's a weapon that not enough people are talking about in this wide receiver room. When you got Barian Brown, Chris Hilton, Aaron Anderson, Nick Anderson, you start to kind of get cloudy. You start to kind of forget. You got Zay Thomas as well. I mean, but hey, don't count out Kyle Parker. Last year, he had an injury. Last year, he got hurt, tore that tricep, and now he's back. Now he's healthy. All I'm going to say is Aaron Anderson's very talented. He's on the Biletnikoff watch list right now. So shout out to him. But Kyle Parker, I feel like before the injury, was having similar production. And that's not to take anything away from anybody. It's just kind of to compliment Kyle and the package that I think he brings to the table for LSU's offense. And I feel like there was a moment in practice. He's against Mansour Delane, has a good route, creates separation. And I'm just sitting here thinking, that's our best corner he's doing that against. Now, yeah, it happens. Everybody has a bad play. But sometimes you just got to credit the person for having a good play. And that was Kyle Parker in that regard. I think he'll have a nice season. Michael Van Buren, our backup quarterback. He looked a little shaky. Now, he's got time. He's got time to be able to grow, to be able to learn, to be able to get comfortable, whatever the case may be. He's got time. He's not going to have to get thrown out there behind center against Clemson in week 1. Hopefully not, if Garrett Nussmeier stays healthy, which we believe he will. He's going to be able to redshirt, relax, learn, and get ready for next year. But what we've seen in practice is just decision making's being a little bit of an issue. It's a little bit of a question mark. They had 2 plays in particular in 7-on-7 where he almost threw back-to-back picks. And look, it happens. Like I said, there's also the fact that, and I don't know how true this is. This is just my philosophy on it sometimes. The offense is running very similar plays back-to-back every day, especially against these certain, like if the twos are coming in, they've seen this look before. They've seen this play before. They've seen this route before. Maybe it was a little bit of that. Maybe they jumped in and got Michael Van Buren because they've just seen it a time or two. Either way, 2 of them in a row, one of them almost to Ashton Stamps. It had me a little worried. Now, it's a new system, new teammates, all this stuff. Still has great potential. Still very mobile. We saw the mobility get off. And he had good throws as well. It wasn't just bad throws across the board. There were moments, though, where you were questioning the accuracy, the decision-making, just the overall comprehensive talk about your future at that quarterback position. Which is going to be your most important position? Verdin Verdict, still cutting up, still looking good. Gave Mansour a good run for his money. I ain't gonna lie. Anytime somebody's running against Mansour Delane, I'm all eyes. I'm attentive. I'm locked in. Because that's CB1. That's Mr. Stratman. And if you can create separation on him or get one over him, I think that's a win in your book. Even if you have an opportunity to catch and you don't come down with it, it's still a decent rep because that's going to be one of your guys that you're going to look for straight clamps all season long. Floby saying nobody's talking about Brown, Nick, Aaron Parker deserves more love. Yeah, Kyle Parker 100% deserves more love. Then I feel like Kyle Parker is going to be one of your quick twitch guys. I hope that this is what I think is going to happen from a special team standpoint. I think Barian Brown and Zay Thomas are going to be the 2 guys that you lean on to receive, to return, to do all that flashy stuff. That opens up Kyle Parker to be fresh-legged. Because sometimes Barian and Zay are going to have they're going to get banged up a little bit on kickoff. They might have a gasser. What if they get a nice little run, 40-yard, 50-yard chip? What if they break one off on a punt return or something? Kyle Parker's got a door open. I'm not saying special team splits you that bad in terms of a battery or your stamina, but all I'm saying is Kyle Parker has a role in this offense, and I think he could be one of the more prevalent, speedy guys on this team, quite frankly. Offensive line, let's give a brief look at that. Weston Davis, he's been getting physical in practice. Looked like he was moving a little slow at times, though. There was a moment where he went down, and I'm holding my breath. I'm hoping that he's healthy. I'm hoping that there wasn't nothing wrong, that he didn't get rolled up on in terms of an ankle or a lower extremity. He got up. He was fine. He was a little angry. He gave up a sack. He took his helmet, threw it down, did the whole 9 yards. Jack Marucci had to come over and re-screw the bolts back into the helmet. But I've liked what I've seen from Weston Davis so far. He had a competitive physical rep against Josh Thompson. And once again, when you're going up against potential starters and you're getting a victory, I think that boosts your stock, if you will. If you got a teammate grade, like you're playing CFB or 2K or whatever the hell, it keeps going up. It keeps going up. By the end of the game, everybody's going to have an A+. Josh Thompson's rotating in and out at right guard. Or excuse me, I said that Weston Davis did that on Josh Thompson. I meant Jack Pyburn. Correct that. Everybody was probably looking at me insane. Josh Thompson rotating in and out at right guard. Like I said, Cohen Eccles got some time there as well. Here's the deal. You're going to get me excited when I know every single person on that offensive line is 100% locked in for a starting job. We know that Braylon Moore is right there at center. We know the left guard's DJ Chester. We know Tyree Adams is at left. Our guy Blanche in the chat. We know Weston's at right tackle. He's a starter, 100%. Right guard, that's the last question mark. I want to make sure that these 5 guys know who's on side of them comes August 30th. So whenever Saturday night football is ready to be played, whenever the lights are on in Tiger Stadium, they got trust that the guy on side of them is going to do their job. You do that through consistency in practice. You do that through having this finalized, quite frankly. I don't want to keep going on another week or two wondering who's going to be the starting 5. Maybe they know inside the building now, and they're just holding it, keeping it close to the vest, concealing it, playing a little bit of poker with us. Whatever the case may be, they need to figure this out sooner rather than later. That's my opinion, especially if they're getting bust up like they did with the D-line yesterday. But hey, biggest standout so far, I'll give you 3 of them. Bernard Gooden, PJ Woodland, Nick Anderson. That's my 3. Bernard Gooden, he's going to make that pass rush lethal this season. I'm just going to tell it how it is. That's my guy. That's my standout. That's my number 1 X factor all fall camp long. Pair him with somebody like Jack Pyburn, who's also had a great camp. Honorable mention is up. That defensive pressure is going to be all over the place. Have fun because Blake Baker knows how to create an attack system to be able to make some quarterbacks sweat, some offensive coordinators sweat. I think we're going to see it this season, especially through number 88, Bernard Gooden. PJ Woodland, another one of the names. Like I said, he's been all over the place, but the most important thing is he's outperforming expectations. If I put a poll out to all of y'all, all 45 of y'all sitting in the chat right now, if I put a poll out and I told you preseason, who will be your best corner? A lot of y'all would have said Mansour Lane, and a lot of y'all would be right. A lot of y'all probably would have said Jakeem, Ashton, maybe even a DJ Pickett. I don't think a lot of y'all would have said PJ Woodland. And I'm not saying PJ Woodland is the best guy, but PJ Woodland has an opportunity to be able to completely flip the narrative that he's at around him on his head. Too small, too this, too that, too young, too inexperienced. I think he's going to show everybody up this season. Nick Anderson. Now, this one makes the most sense. It's the big frame. It's one of the biggest grabs you had in the portal, quite frankly, just because the 6'4" frame makes him the tallest wide receiver option that you have. And being a vertically challenged wide receiver room isn't always bad, because when you're sub 4'4", when you got all these people running track speed times, then yeah, you can make up for what you lack in height with speed because you're creating separation. However, Nick Anderson, he could do all that. He got the speed. He has the ability to create separation, but he's also possessing the ability to push you out of the way and get up over you and grab anything, any type of pass, 50-50, line of scrimmage, jump ball, whatever the case may be. Shit, I even saw him pancake somebody on pass pro in the block. I even saw him pancake somebody, guys. Like, Nick Anderson is going to be a unit. He's going to be somebody that you can look forward to all season long. Biggest worries. I'm going to end the show right here. Biggest worries. O-line. Again, not in the regard of, you don't have anybody, we don't got any O-linemen, all this stuff. No, it's the regard of they need more chemistry. They need to play with that starting five more. And, I mean, I don't know how else to put it other than that. They need to trust each other. They need to be able to protect the quarterback, and please develop the run. Because last year we were talking about bully ball. We were talking about running all over USC, this, that, and the third. It didn't happen. This season, I think it'll be a little more interesting on if it's going to be able to happen. Didn't work out like that. You're going to have to find ways to balance this attack without having an offensive line that could potentially create 3 different gaps for a running back. Like, it'll be interesting because I think the run game will be a little bit slow this season. But you never know. Never know. Time will tell. Let's go look at the chat real quick. Man, we got a lot. Platinum Obama says LSU's plus 1,800 to win the Natty. All right. What are the chances of Brown starting week 1? I've been hearing that Brown's running with the 2s right now. I think that he'll have a good opportunity. Now, I think it's all going to revolve around how healthy Aaron Anderson is. Are they going to put him on a little smaller pitch count? They're going to throw him out there. He's had that knee inflammation. He's been out of fall camp up to this point. If Aaron Anderson is 100%, they're just making sure that he's full, ready to go, then I would think your starting lineup is Aaron, Nick, Chris. That's my opinion. I think Barian Brown's the next in. And that's just me. I think Barian Brown is the very next guy in that rotation at a clear 4. Yeah, he's running with the 2s. I think it's so hard to tell who's a starter and who's the 2 in those huge, deep rooms in terms of cornerback, wide receiver, even D-line. Because the 2s sometimes are starter caliber players. Like, you've got starters on the 2s. They just aren't in this rotation. And they're also trying to figure out who's paired well with who. That's probably why we've seen the safeties change around a lot, whether it be Toviano, AJ, and all this different stuff. I think Barian's got a nice shot, though. I would say the chances are it's better than not. Delane, CB1, no question. Also, LSU ranked number 9. Coaches poll, people complaining about it. They don't realize we got talent this year. Yeah, look, all right, I'll take a top 10. I'll take a top 10. I don't want a top 5. Top 5 puts too much pressure, and top 5 is just crazy. Top 10 makes sense. Clemson being at 6 makes sense. I would have ranked Clemson above LSU. There's less question marks. It's a preseason poll. They just don't want to overreach, overstep. They're trying very hard to not drink the Kool-Aid on a lot of teams, but also try to pay respect to who was doing well last season. That poll is going to look completely different by week 2. We all know it. So I'm not going to waste any emotion on that. Obama in the chat. I like putting dynamic freshmen on kick. Let Lindsey and Barry run the kickoffs. Harlan Barry on a kickoff wouldn't be a bad idea. I ain't going to lie to you. I mean, I feel like we could throw that out there. Last time I checked, Jacoby and Gilly, one of the strongest guys in Louisiana history. Exactly. Got to put Big Tank out there in the trenches, man. It's going to be a money year for him. This is going to be a huge year for Tank. It's all or nothing. He's a great NFL caliber talent, and this is his year to go out there and prove it. And I trust Tank. I know that my guy can go out there and do that. You might be rolling the dice on good, and Thompson might be doo-doo. If I'm rolling the dice on Bernard Gooden, if I'm rolling dice, Blanche, and me saying that he's one of the best inside D linemen is rolling dice, baby, I'm at a craps table. Blow on the dice, hope I shoot the crap, point out, whatever I got to do. I think Bernard Gooden's going to be that guy, though. I can't lie to you. I just feel it. Sometimes you feel it. I just feel it right here, right in the middle. Floby, I know people hate BK, but seem to forget the state he was in before he became head coach. Yeah, he had 35 scholarship players, dude. We got 35 people in the chat. Every single person that's watching this stream right now, that's how many people were on LSU football's team. That's hard. That's hard. I don't know. Are y'all ready to go out there and start on offense? I got the defensive side. Y'all going to have to be in the trenches. Somebody going to have to be a quarterback. Somebody going to have to be a halfback. Those are the type of questions he had to answer like that in the SEC, and he still went to the SEC title game of year one. Pretty interesting. Kelly's good at fixing his mistakes, also makes a lot of them. It's funny. Oklahoma is a Kool-Aid pick. Mr. President, what's up? Oh, my God. Mr. President of Chat Obama. Jelani Watkins at kick return. That's a good option as well. Yeah, I could see Jelani going there. I could see Harlem going there. I could see a lot of different names going there. I'm not going to lie. The only reason I had said Barry and Brown was just because he did it at Kentucky. Now, it's going to depend on what they're doing. I seen him at practice doing it right now. Now, at practice, the special teams isn't always going to be what it is when it comes time to actually throw a rotation out there in the field. A lot could change in between now and then, in between Clemson and then. We'll be there. We'll be locked in. You know the drill. Verdin Verdict on the go. All the time. Practice again on Friday. We'll be there. I think it's around 10 o'clock. So our practice highlights will be up at noon. And then we'll do our 1 o'clock show where I'll give you the notes, the whole breakdown, everybody you should be looking out for, the whole LSU football practice report. You know what I'm doing. Devin said, Coach, I'm 30, bad knees. I can't go. Come on, bro. No, it's all in the mind. You ain't got no bad knees. Now we're going to wrap you up. We got some stem cells. We got all kind of recovery over here at LSU. We're going to get you out there in the field ready to go. I ain't going to lie. Devin, you my running back one, bro. Come on. You can't back out on me now. Appreciate everybody for watching the show. Y'all hit that thumbs up on the way out. We're going to be live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 o'clock. Friday, we got practice highlights. Y'all stay tuned, man. We getting close to football season. We getting close. Let me say exactly how close we are. Let me say exactly. 24 days. Shout out Mamba, Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality. Floby's ending us off with a huge hot take. LSU making the playoffs. Trust me. Floby, I trust you. That's it. Plain and simple. All the way in Connecticut. I trust you, brother. I know that you got it locked down. Y'all have a good one. Hit that thumbs up. This has been the Verdin Verdict. I'm your guy, Jacob Verda. Enjoy your day.